ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the ASSCA TOECAR Development Series here at Daytona for our first points race of the season. This is going to be extremely exciting to see these guys out there giving it all for the points, for the playoff spots, for the championships. And you know, that 97 car right now is on a roll, trying to keep it going. We thank you for joining us on this Wednesday night. And I think we just get straight into it. Let's get into the injury report. Aunt Tim was the first car to really be listed under this. Of course, we've obviously got some bigger ones towards the end of the list here. Aunt Tim, he got light marinara in that accident after being hit by the 77 of Justin Tallgeier, I believe it was. Dr. Steve Basil said, and I quote, "He's kinda cooked, I can't lie," and then he put his left AirPod back in and ignored me for the rest of the day. So, Aunt Tim with some light marinara. And then you've also got Tony Baloney, who was diagnosed with massive Chris. Dr. Steve Basil pretty much just said, "I don't really have the time for this. I have a bingo game to go to." So, you know, you'd love to see that. You'd love to see people having some fun out here. And she does have Dio Duran on standby, if need be. And then there's two other drivers we definitely need to discuss. And, of course, one of them is Leland Funnyman, who had quite a huge accident at Gauntlet, and he was diagnosed with not funny. Now, I don't know what exactly that's supposed to mean, and Dr. Steve Basil didn't really give an explanation. He just wrote that down and handed it to me, so I'm not even sure if he's got anything, really, but Leland Funnyman will step out after the first yellow, and blue-collared Austin Hillbilly will get in the car. And the last one, the car's not even going to be racing, but Nia Newman, who had a huge wreck, and Dr. Steve Basil pretty much said this is a spilled litter box, and that's a pretty serious injury, and hopefully he'll be doing all right. The projected time he'll be out is 2 weeks, so if the 70 car makes the race next week, it will be with Swift T again. But that 70 car did not make the race this time around. Hopefully Nia Newman is doing all right. As you look at the pack here, here's Simmy Can't Stand Your Bits on pole, leading a pretty good-sized group here. The three of Jeffrey Bernhardt starts towards the front. Actually, pretty much most of these cars start towards the front, actually. At least within the top 20. The 97's on a generational run right now. Can he keep it going? That is the question that everybody wants to know. Is that 97 able to keep that insane run he's got going? Another developing story, you might have seen it in the Boo log, but H is back. He somehow came back to life after launching in the air in hell. He went straight through the barriers of hell and is back on surface land. H will be making some starts with us later in the season. It has not been confirmed what team. I'm going to presume it will be the 81 that he drove for full-time. Well, not that 81 number, but he drove for that team full-time in his championship season, so I don't see why they wouldn't want him back. But enough about the future. We've got a race to get started. A reminder to use code ASSCA at checkout on W Energy's online store for 10% off. And I'd like to give a shout out, of course, to Content Racing Designs for painting all these cars. Couldn't do this series without him. Check him out on Instagram. He's got some good stuff. Well, I think that it's time to get stuff going. It is time to get to the Dale Earnhardt mug starting grid. Starting on pole is the 97 of Simikan Standerbits, who is on a generational run right now. But no driver has ever won from the pole. Can he break this curse is the question, and starting alongside is Stacy. She was extremely surprised by her result here in qualifying. She said, and I quote, "Oh my goodness, I can't believe it." So clearly she can't believe it, and a lot of people couldn't believe it either, but you know, it's really cool to see that she's up here. Can she hang on? Can she get some early points and maybe an early playoff spot? We'll find out. Starting third is Jeffrey Bernhardt for Bernhardt Enterprises, and the 56 of Gert for Lucky Sevens. Good qualifying runs for them as well. Michael Wave starts in fifth, with Pumick Stumper Jerry, who had the best qualifying effort for Young Time Racing ever at Daytona, here in the 6th. On row 4, it is Pip Puddlequack in the 10, and Massive Chris, who was in a massive wreck in the 67 in practice, but luckily, nobody was injured in that incident. Starting in 9th is Melanoma for Retro Racing, a pretty good effort out of him, and Ketchfence did his job for 5 Pins Racing, one of the greatest starts they've ever had in their series history. The 82 of Uncle Boobs, who had another good run here in qualifying for Klottenheimer. Last year he was able to make it for a different team. And then Aunt Tim, who is the only driver in the field that will be injured throughout the entire race, because remember, Leland Funnyman is getting out of the car after the first yellow. And then we've got Tire Ware behind for Ware Racing in the 51, and Detective Ludomine Pretzel, who is still suffering from that heartbreak at Gauntlet with that last lap turn of events, hoping he can get something going. Vatislav is looking to have an incredible run here today, and he's got a really good starting spot for it. Usually the winners of this race do start towards the mid-pack, and then you've got Corey Knight for Hendricks Motorsports in the 24. Can he get something going as well? Justin Tallgeier in the 77 with the 65 of Gwen D4 for the 4th, who was unable to make the season opener at Gauntlet. How can she do in her first race of the season? Chippy Ahoy in the 41, hoping to get something going as well, as he was involved in a big wreck at Gauntlet but was uninjured from the incident. And then you've got Season 1 champ David Krabenschitz in the 66. Raceware in the 15 started off really strong in qualifying but slowly fell down the board. Can he climb back up the board, essentially, and win this race? We'll have to see. Starting alongside him is Thad Moshpit, who also didn't make the season opener at Gauntlet. Can he have a good first impression? Van Alsgreg won this race a couple seasons ago. Can he do it again for his own team? And right beside him is Secret Agent Randy Beans. Lawful Allen, somebody that wasn't talked about literally at all during practice, is in this race. Believe it or not, we did not talk about this guy at all. I think he is the only driver that wasn't talked about in practice. He made it in, so he is here, and right beside him is Aggressive, the last Klottenheimer car to make the race. Only 3 of their 6 entries made it. The 28, 82, and 87 were the cars that were able to make it. The 99, 98, and 75 unfortunately couldn't make the race. Cup of Joe in the 78 there in the W Energy Chevrolet, and right beside him, Dale Bernhardt Jr., who has a very high optimism for this race right here. The 20 of Franklin Fenway Jefferson Washington III, who I still need a shorter name for, is here, and right beside him, Aero 404 driver not found, a couple Poke Oh No 500K drivers right there. Small Medium Fat in the 07, hoping to get a good start to his season, and right beside him, Leland Funnyman, who will only be driving for probably the first lap because he will be getting out after the first yellow. A couple full-time tow car drivers here, the 29 of Zach Outback and the 37 of Young Stroker to Body Snatcher, hoping to get some good results here and some momentum going into the real tow car season. Buster Guts in the 18 has a lot of work to do, but I think he can do it, and right beside him, it is the surprise entry. It is Mike in the 32 for Full Moon Racing. Can Mike take it from the booth to the track and win it? We'll have to see. Eaton Beaver in the 17 for Hendricks Motorsports. Gonna also have a lot of work to do with a good car, and Amber the only driver from Swipe Right Racing to make the show. Unfortunately, Becca Lynn couldn't, but Amber's hoping to quote-unquote get it for her bestie. Dr. Shrimp Puerto Rico in the 25 made the race, and Xbox 360 in the 36 is alongside of him. And rounding out the field, it is owner-driver Cyber Zed in the 1 car, and rounding out the field for the second race in a row, it is Cleavage McNamara in the 13. But without further ado, let's head it to Mason Payson for this command.
Drivers, start your engines!
They're all fired up, and they're off. And something has happened to Stacy. Already, can you believe it? Stacy's out. Stacy with a disaster at the start. I'm assuming an engine. What just happened? Something's wrong with the 20 as well. Not a good way to start. Wow. Actually insane. Disaster instantly for Stacy. And that allows Gert to get to the front. We've got some weird incidents going on back here. I'm not quite sure what happened. So is Michael Wave going to pull up? Because I'm not exactly sure what's going on. The 20. Oh, Jeffrey Bernhardt with an incident as well. 3 cars with issues instantly. And we're about to go green. Mason Payson is in 3 and 4. This is a disaster. An absolute disaster for those drivers. I feel so bad. But we've got a race to do, don't we? ASSCA is officially underway for its first points race televised, and we're green. Boogata, boogata. Let's go racing you a bunch of hot dogs or whatever it is that Daryl said back when. Something along those lines. The 97 off to a great start. But with the way that they are currently formed up, I wouldn't be shocked if we see a crash in a minute. Because it is, in the end, a TOECAR Development Series. These guys kind of don't know what they're doing. As you see Michael Wave try and take the lead here. They're 3 wide back here. How are they doing in the back? Oh, I think there's already been some form of incident. What's going on in the back of the field? We've got a whole second group. They've already backed off. They know this wreck is coming. And the first lap is underway. And they are 3 wide. The entire field pack. Klottenheimer cars on the bottom with the 87 and 82. They're going to shift to the top. Tire wear on the bottom with Corey Knight in tow. Michael Wave getting way out there. And Simi Can't Stand Your Bits, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't even lead the first lap, and he's already back there a little bit. I'm not exactly sure what happened to give us a second pack way back there. I think that they are anticipating what we're all anticipating, as we do have a yellow on the racetrack. What the hell went down? Let's see if we can find a car that's got some damage. Oh, I think the 13 might have some there. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. Funnyman and the 42 has some. The 8, so that second pack I think went wrong. Oh, and they're hitting each other up here. We got trouble. We got trouble. We have We have some form of incident. Let's take a look. So we're looking at Zach Outback. I can't even speak because I'm in shock. I'm not exactly... Oh, they're 4 wide. And Cyber Zed goes down the track and... Oh my goodness. You know what, though? It's a soft collection. Just a soft little Oh, no, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. It was not a soft... Oh, Mike! Mike, no! Mike with a huge incident. He kept on trucking. He kept on going. Thank goodness. Wow. So we're looking at Mike here. So let's analyze here. Amber's kind of getting underneath the 1. The 1 moves up. I'm not sure if that's like a side draft or not, but the 18 goes with the 39. That's going to give her a closing rate. The 1 is going to try and essentially... Oh no, he just got squoze. 39 came up the track a little bit. Now, the wreck starts, right? And it's a pretty soft collection. I don't know what exactly happens to Mike here, but you just see a car go upside down. I think Xbox 360 makes some contact. Oh my goodness. Cleavage McNamara, Dale Bernhardt Jr., and Mike. Huge incident. Well, he gets a little tap there from the 44. Wow. Full Moon Racing not having a good start to their season. Back on them wheels. Right on board with Dale Bernhardt Jr. in this disaster. See, he doesn't even see it. He doesn't even see it happen. And then here comes the 13. Wow. Goodness. Keeps on trucking. One last look at this incident, and it's going to be the 13 of Cleavage McNamara who we look at, and it's just a really weird collection. How does the 13 get into this? Oh, he gets up into Mike. Very weird accident for the 13. Everybody kept on going though, so that's definitely a good sign. Welcome back to ASSCA. As the 42 of Leland Funnyman has gotten out of the car, it is now blue-collared Austin Hillbilly in the 42. Hoping to clutch a win here. Now, if a replacement driver is to win the race, we'll get to that problem when we have it. We've never actually had that issue when it comes to playoffs, so we won't touch on it until it happens. So if the 42 wins this race, we are going to be scrambling. We might not even have an answer on what we're going to do, so just keep that in mind. Now, Race Control has not given us updates yet on what we're going to do for the restart. I'm going to assume we're doubling up, but they can make it single file if they'd like, and they are going to double up. They're going to double up, so double file restarts. Now, for Monza later in the season, we will have single file restarts. That's already been confirmed. Mainly for safety, but also to make track position matter a little bit more. Hopefully y'all are hydrating. Drink some water. And eat some food. You know? That never hurts. What am I talking about? I have no idea. But you know what I am talking about. We're gonna go green again. So here they come, and they're going faster and faster, and there they go, and now they're leaving, and they're off, and they're on their way. How about Michael Wave in the 87? As our tickers had a little bit of a disaster, we'll have to fix that. I don't like the looks of this. They are so squoze. They're squeezing, they're squashing, they're squozing, they're squeezing, and they're breezing. Committing treason. What am I even saying? Somehow, We're still going. They're 4 wide. Oh, there it is. Melanoma. And actually, we're still green and maybe not anymore. Oh, Jerry, come on. Van Greg gets turned, and there's the crash. What is love? Almost into the wall, into the catch fence. And we've got a big rag Austin hillbilly. Oh, and they're just piling in. They're just adding to it. Hawk to they're racing back. There's like 4 cars left. We'll fix the ticker. If we can't fix it, we'll just have to go with the flow. Detective Blue don't mind Pretzel. He's been in this position before, hasn't he? He'll take the yellow. Michael Wave comes second. Gwendy for the 4th. Sadly, is not 4th, but she's 3rd. And we've got another yellow. We've made 1 green flag lap so far. Are we happy? Oh no, we've got 2 green flag laps, but you know, we're trying. We're getting there, you know. But we got trouble. Let's take a look. So we're taking a look at Van Greg. He just gets in front of Cup of Joe. Cup of Joe's already there, and Cup of Joe, when he comes back up the track, big impact there. Oh, hard hits. Pit puddle quack involved. The 74 is probably the main concern, I'd say, in this crash. But look, everybody drives away. We're all doing good. You know, we're having a good time so far. They're all doing pretty good right now. Taking a hashtag look at What Is Love. And he just gets goes into the wall. That's really, like, you can't even really say anything else. Into the catch fencing a bit. The catch fence did do its job. That's one thing I liked about that wreck. The catch fence did, in fact, do what it was intended to do. And he drives away. Now, I don't know how well he's going to be in the draft now. Are we going to even have any cars left? We've got a 40-lap race here, and we're junking them left and right here. Looking at Cup of Joe, who I'd say is a good portion of the reason for the crash. Seeing there's just contact with the 66, you know, Chippy Ahoy gets involved. You know, there's some big hits there, but nobody noticeably gets, you know, crazy amounts of contact. Obviously the 74 with some big hits, but you know, everybody else seems to get away all right. 13 with some issues. Not many cars left in that lead group at the end of that green flag run, though. Damn. Welcome back to Daytona. Unfortunately, we cannot get our ticker to work. But we'll try and keep you updated as much as we can. The most we can do is, you know, kind of just... I'll hit spacebar occasionally to get the lap counter out. We're currently on lap 11 with tire wear. Scored as the leader as pit stops have happened. Van Greg up here only led 3 laps in his Daytona win a couple seasons ago. Lights are out on the pace car. We're going to be going green. Man, it's a shame the ticker is unable to work at this current moment. Blue-collared Austin Hillbilly still in the race, and they fixed that car up. He's still in this. He's still got a chance. You know, he usually doesn't lead all the laps. He's usually around this point at some point in the race, so better to have it earlier than later. Yeah, it's a shame without the ticker. I can't lie. We'll try and get it working for a brief moment again, and it is not going to work. Unfortunate, but what can you do? They double up. Here again, we'll be going on lap number 13 when we go green. So tire wear up front, Van Greg in second. So 2 Fords will lead us back. Van Alscrag and tire wear lead us back to go green. I'm not sure what's wrong with the ticker. I'll try and figure that out eventually, but, you know, that's another thing, right? First season of televised broadcasting, we're going to have some issues like that. We're just happy to be here. We'll try and prevent that later on in the future, but right now we've got a race to watch. Yet again, I will remind you if it's the last lap or not, and all that stuff, what lap it is. The 21 out front. Look at this bum back here. This is my lawyer, dog. I'm going to jail. Mid-pack. He's kind of a bum when I talked to him earlier. I don't know what I did, but, you know, we ball. '21's doing a good job out here. And surprisingly, everyone else is. Maybe they're afraid that they're all going to die because we have seen some horrific ones up to this point. Three wide again. Michael Wave in second. We've actually made it 2 laps without killing somebody. This is amazing. But some of these guys are falling back. And some of these inexperienced guys are at the front, so I wouldn't be holding my breath for some green flag racing for much longer. In fact, I'm actually getting more and more nervous because the suspense is building up. '21's been up front for a good portion here. Lawful Allen losing the pack. Maybe that's karma for earlier today. What's going on in the back? The 42 is having issues. Wow, there's a lot of cars off the pace, a lot of cars in the back. This is pretty sad when it comes to, oh my goodness, 4 or 5 wide. The 77 better get, yep, he gets one. Goodness. The 21, they're going to need to develop a plan here to get by the 21. I can't believe I'm saying that because he's basically driving a piece of shit. But he's actually leading this race, and he's actually out front, and he's actually doing a pretty good job. And he's actually got a chance. Now, you might be saying, does he actually? He might. He might actually have a chance. Who else actually has a chance? Well, I think that Michael Wave on the 87 has a chance. As I say that, he falls back a little bit, but it's alright, but they're going to be 4 wide here. What the hell? Oh, Corey Knight. Oh, Lord, there they go. Oh, Justin Tallgeier into the air. Oh, no, here they go. Oh my God. Buster Guts. Justin Tallgeier. Oh, prayers up for that 77. He's somehow driving away. He might just be discombobulated a bit. Justin Tallgeier and Buster Guts. Huge impacts. I did not see some of that on camera, but I heard it, and I believe you heard it too. That 77 is not going to do another lap. We got trouble. And this is the type of trouble that you see when you're in kindergarten and you accidentally pee on the floor. That kind of trouble. So we're looking at Justin Tallgeier in the 77, who just had one of the worst accidents we've ever had. And he gets squoze into the wall, and it's just, you know, a little flip, and then here comes the onrushing pack. Actually, it's not as bad. Oh, never mind. Oh, no, never mind. Never mind. It is worse than I thought. Wow. Now Buster Guts, I think, got worse contact from the onrushing 13 car. Goodness. Taking a look at Buster Guts, who was miles away from the accident. How did he even get involved? Oh no, so the 13 was behind him. I think Justin Tallgeier definitely got the worst of it. I thought the Buster Guts was up in this main group. Wasn't the case. But he does end up upside down. He will not continue. Unfortunate. For a great car. Wow. Looking at Corey Knight, who just gets in front of the 51. Another block gone wrong disaster. And there's a wreck back there, so I'm really, you know, trying to figure out what happened back there now. And we'll see. Oh my goodness, Xbox 360, tire wear. What the hell is going on? We're gonna have to look at the 36 as well now. We're gonna have nobody left. We are not that far in. We are actually running out of cars as we speak. Looking at Xbox 360 in the 36. Oh my goodness, the 13 drills him. That's another big hit that the 13 has done. He drives away though like it's perfectly fine, so I'm not exactly sure what's up with that, but you know, I'm definitely sure there's some neck issues with that 36. Goodness. The final replay of this disaster. The 6 car, next up Jerry, who I believe was, yeah, there's a second incident. The 6 goes around, the 2 goes, wow, teammates go around. So actually nothing to look at there. And, oh my goodness, just drilled. Justin Tallgeier, big hit, blue-collared Austin Hillbilly getting involved, of course. And he's huge. Like, he is like 1,000 pounds, so this is not good for the 77. 1,000-pound man in a 3,500-pound car. The mass adds up, as they say. Trouble. Welcome back to the nut of day with a tone in the middle. Daytona. That was the worst joke I've ever said in my entire life, and they're doubling up. They're getting ready. It is a very weird top 5. It's actually a very weird top 10, actually. Like, yes, we've got, what, two or three competitive cars in the top 10. We've maybe got about 6 or 7, unironically, competitive cars really left. Buster Guts is no. Wait, hold on. Buster Guts is still driving the car. That's crazy. That's actually insane. Speaking of actually insane, we're about to go racing again, and it has been actually insane. And, this is going to be a disaster. Lap 23 here of 40. And we're going again. They're going. There's barely anybody left, I think. We're going to see a lot of the damaged guys. See the 18 already way gone. The 21's the car to beat. I can't believe I'm saying this. What have they done to this car? This team has probably got some of the worst cars I've ever seen. Including, but not limited to, the the Kia Soul. It's on site if you're driving a Kia Soul. But somebody that's got a great soul going on. The one. Cyber's Ed leads a lap. How about that? Look at this pack. This is like generational levels of sad. But we're gonna see potentially another finish like we saw at Gauntlet. So this could get exciting. I think it's gonna be exciting. We've already got 3 wide. We're going for 4. That's not a good idea. We've seen it all day. The 6 and the 2 out front. Oh my goodness. The 2's gonna try and block. Oh my goodness. Not a good idea. Generational. And you see, like, everybody back there damaged. I believe Simikan Stanjevitz is still in this pack. The generational run could keep going. The question becomes, who wins the race of this group? This is the group that's going for the win. And it goes all the way back to Cyber Zed. It says 11th, but I don't think that's the case. I think he's about 12th or 13th, but oh no, it could be. Actually, I do think that it is pretty true. It's about 11, 12 cars in this lead group, and then it's kind of just a disaster back there. So we won't really look at back there unless there's a wreck. We're going to be looking at the front. So I've just gotten word. This is unbelievable. I don't think we've ever had this before. Right, this is of stupidity. But it's another level of blessings for another guy. So we're going to look back here a little bit. We're going to go back a little bit more. I went too far. I went too far. Dr. Shrimp Puerto Rico is in the 25, but he has a doctor's appointment that he said he just remembered. So Masturbation is going to get in at the next pit stop. For some reason, he's ready. I don't know why he's not at home. But Masturbation will get in the 25 at the next yellow. Something to maybe make a mind note of. I think that 25 is still competitive as well. So yeah, Dr. Shrimp Puerto Rico has an appointment he has to go to. He's got a client that needs, I believe it was a pimple popped. So tragic way to leave the race, but Masturbation coming in. Obviously not going to score many points, but it's going to make up for him missing the race. How about Reese Ware in the lead? I don't know how long that'll last. David Crappenshit's up here. The only TOECAR vet left, I believe, in the field. Small, medium, fat up here. Wouldn't that rock the boat with him getting a win? Back here. Now I asked small, medium, fat earlier today, before the race began, what's your game plan? And he said, something along the lines of, I'm gonna curb stomp these people. And I just walked away from the conversation. Buster Guts has, for some reason, stayed out on the racetrack. I still don't believe that. Unreal. Why is he out here? And the 21 is somehow back in the lead. This is a career day for Ketch Vens did his job. He just needs to close it out. But how about the 97 who has won the preseason showdown at Gauntlet, won the pole here today, so the last 2 weeks, he's been number 1. And you know what they say. 2 is better than 1 in the movie world, specifically. Most movies, not all movies, but he'd like to keep that one train going, and they just crashed! Secret Agent Randy Beans gets into Uncle Boobs. Detective Blue Mind Pretzels in the middle of the track. Sweet Jesus, and we are alright. Wow, That could have been a disaster. They were catching up on Buster Guts, so thank God that happened. We're going to do just one replay of this because there's nothing really to analyze about it. But once again, we've got a caution. We've got a crawshin, a crawfish. So we're looking at Secret Agent Randy Beans, who just gets turned. And Catchfence did his job, is in the crash. He just hit the wall, actually. I think he's alright. Yeah, he's good. Everybody's alright. We'll take one more look with the 82 and then get back going. Using the exact same camera angle because we are very cheap. Looking at the 82, so he just gets squoze. Nothing crazy. It would have been something crazy though if that 25 was involved. Now remember, Dr. Shrimp Puerto Rico is going to be exiting the race early. Masturbation will be getting in. Sad way to have a caution happen. Welcome back to Daytona. Lap 34, we've got 6 laps to go when we're back under green. So, who's going to win this race? I think it's the 97. I can't believe it. He actually has a chance to continue this generational run, lock a playoff spot up early, and then it's just a mission of survival for the rest of the way. But it's not going to be easy. You've got small, medium, fat. You've got Wendy 4 for the 4th. You've got Amber. You've got the 6. Now, eventually it gets to a point where you don't really see anybody notable, especially with damage. But Masturbation has hopped in the 25. And Dr. Shrimp Puerto Rico is rushing to pop some person's pimple right now. Tragic way to exit the race. Now, if Masturbation were to win the race, yet again, we'll get there if it happens, because we don't know. And in fact, we'll be sweating if that happens, because we will have no idea, because they are both full-time. Remember, Masturbation did not make the race. There's still this many cars, but about 10 of them are in position to win. It's actually, like, mind-blowing. Speaking of mind-blowing, we're going to be back to racing. Oh man, this could get ugly very quickly, and it's already looking like they're gonna try. Small, medium, fat gets pretty much pushed out of the way. He's gone. See ya later. Gwendy for the 4th. What a shocker it would be if she could win this race. Lawful Allen. So Catchfence did his job, is way back here, but he is flying up here with the 2. So they're eventually going to rejoin this group, if of course they don't pull away, which I'd be starting to worry about actually. The longest we've gone, I think, was 4 or 5 laps, and Lawful Allen is blowing up in front of the field. Goodness me. How did they not crash? I don't know where he's going, though. I have no idea where he's going. Where is Lawful Allen going? Okay, so we're good. Let's get back to the front. Where is the front? What happened to the back? Lawful Allen blowing up. Just completely deteriorated the entire field. Aunt Tim is still on pit road. What is he doing? Buster Guts is still out here, and he is going a whopping 168 versus the leader going a whopping 200. So that's not good. That's a 30-mile-an-hour difference on a 2.5-mile racetrack. I don't like the looks of that. I just don't like the looks of that whatsoever. Here comes Amber. The 2 females leading the group, and they are approaching a slow car. I am not excited to see this, because this could get bad. Who is that up there? It is the 87 of Michael Wave. Remember, he was in an accident. Man, these super speedways always play out crazy. When we go to the 1.5 miles and short tracks, we'll see which cars are, you know, truly, like, the most dominant in all of that, but wow, that 87 is slow. The 87's actually slower than Buster Guts at the moment, and he's holding up the field. So we're gonna have another 4-car breakaway to decide the race. And once again, the 97 finds himself in it with the 6 of Pumic Stumper Jerry. Now, the irony in this, if you're maybe mistaking, you know, what I'm saying here, that is another Young Time Racing car that's leading the pack. That group back there, I feel so bad. And the 97's pitting! The generational run is going to come to an end. You've got to think what happened. I honestly don't even know where to look anymore. This is the lead group, so this is a very sad ending. They're coming to the white. They are actually coming to the white flag. And Amber, she's fine as hell, and she's fast as hell right now. She's coming to take the white. White flag is out, and it's Amber who's leading it. The generational run for the 97, and the pole-sitting curse. Strike it. Small, medium, fat has a chance to win this race, and that could also put us in a really weird spot, and it might actually happen. The 07 with the 6. Here comes the 6 to the inside. 3 wide. Pumic Stumper Jerry. The 07's going to try and cut down, is he? The 6 is right there. This is basically the battle of 6-7. Shoot me after I just said that joke. Small, medium, fat is going to come to the checkered flag and win here at Daytona. Oh my goodness. How about masturbation with a top 10 after coming in with like 10 laps to go? Amber had it in the bag, and she treated the bag like an old purse. Tossed it away. To be fair, a Ford against 2 Chevys, what can you do? But how about the 07? Small, medium, fat is the first playoff driver of the season. The battle of 6-7. What am I? I'm a smooth-brained Neanderthal. Let's take a look at the winning move. So you see there, Amber out front. And look at, they just make the move, but then, right, Pumic Stumper Jerry realizes, like, I've got to make this move too. I've got to make myself have a chance to win this. So he goes to the inside. I thought right there that was it, right? I knew Amber was pretty much out of it. I thought the 6 having the bottom was the advantage. And right about here is where I said that stupid joke. And the 07 comes to the line. Small, medium, fat for Spiral Motorsports wins the race. Holy cannoli. Taking a look here at the finishing results. Small, medium, fat with the race win. A part-time guy. Another part-time guy finishing second. Pumic Stumper Jerry. So the first full-time driver to finish is Amber, and that is 3rd place. Gert with 4th. Cybers at 5th. Secret Agent Randy Beans 6th. Gwendy 4for4 the 4th in 7th. Melanoma 8th. Masturbation, who jumped in for the 25 in 9th, and then Catch Fence did his job. A career day. Starts and finishes in 10th. Yet again, the guy that starts in 10th starts and finishes in that spot. Really interesting to see that as well. Uncle Boobs had a good run. Reese Ware, Detective Little Mind Pretzel, Votislav, Massive, Chris, Aggressive, Chippy Ahoy, Aero 404 Driver Not Found, and then, unfortunately, Simicant, Standrovitz, and Vanos Greg both pitted. I'm not exactly sure what the play was there. They must have thought they were good and they weren't, but sad to see that happen. David Krappenschitz, first one a lap down. Michael Wave in the 87 is in 22nd, a lap down. Dale Earnhardt Jr., 2 laps down. Buster Guts somehow continued the race after that. I don't understand that at all. He came in 3 laps down, he probably stayed out to get the points. If I was to make a guess, if I was to make an estimate, if you keep looking down the order, we can go down to the bottom here. Lawful Allen, unfortunately, with a engine issue mid-pack, which is essentially what triggered this craziness to happen. As you can hear the helicopter flying over, that is Dr. Shrimp Puerto Rico leaving to pop somebody's pimple right now. I'm not exactly sure why he's just leaving now, but it's alright. Pit Puddle Quack retired as well. Eaton Beaver, Tire Wear, Corey Knight. A lot of these guys were in accidents early, and in fact, all the way up to about Cup of Joe, I believe, were all involved in that huge one. I'm going to call it the huge one. It was definitely a huge one. Leland Funnyman got out of the car after the first lap, pretty much, to get blue-collared Austin Hillbilly in, and he was caught up in those racks, and it just ended up being a disaster there. Aunt Tim, I don't know what exactly happened to him. I'm assuming that he was in a crash and they were trying to fix the damage for 37 laps, but at that point, just give it up, bro. Just put the fries in the bag. Mike with a big wreck. Luckily, he was able to drive away. He actually said that the car was alright. He just didn't want to, risk it any further, which makes sense. And then you got there. That's Thad Moshpit in the 46. And then 3 cars that had issues instantly. I don't exactly know what the hell happened. The 20's not even listed on this roster here. Jeffrey Bernhardt had an issue to start the race. The 7 of Stacy had an issue at the start of the race, and the 20 of Franklin Fenway Jefferson Washington III had an issue at the start of the race as well. Not exactly sure what that was all about, but very weird right there. But we are done here at Daytona for the season opener. Small Medium Fat is the first playoff driver, and we encourage you to tune in tomorrow for the Garbage Trash Series here at Daytona. And we've also got the Splint Cup Series at Daytona on Friday. Next week, you'll have to see on our Instagram or Twitter or whatever, link in the bio for all that stuff. But you'll just have to see where we're going. But without further ado, we thank everybody for watching here. Have a blessed, absolutely spectacular, and I don't know, I'm looking for synonyms here, but just have an opposite of bad day. Wow, I'm actually like stupid. We'll see y'all later, and thanks.